Alright. Shalom. We're Hebrew Israelites from Fayetteville, North Carolina. We're giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakav Kodash. Alright, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching us this truth according to the Bible, right? And we're just gonna start it off, right? With this article, the brother's gonna go into it. Right?
This is the source is the Hal Turner radio show. Blood moon seen over Rome after midnight today, an astronomical impossibility and terrible omen. This is as of today, 12 April 2020.
What's that news site?
The source?
Mm-hmm.
Hal Turner radio show. But if you just Google like blood moon Rome 2020 show, you'll see it somewhere. But it's on the Hal Turner radio show. Reports coming in from friends in Rome that there was seen a blood moon in the skies of Rome at about 12:30 a.m. Astronomers consider the reference to the moon turning to blood as that to a lunar eclipse. The only thing is, according to astronomers, there was no lunar eclipse on April 12, 2020. The total lunar eclipses for 2020 are January 10th through the 11th and June 5th through the 6th. There will be prenumbal and or partial lunar eclipses on July 4th through the 5th. That's interesting dates. And November 29th through the 30th. So astronomically, what many saw was impossible. Friends report that the skies at Rome today and yesterday were both clear, and there are no wildfires burning to the east of Rome, so meteorologically it is hard to explain. And then it's got a video and whatnot. Let me read a little bit more here. Signs in the heaven and on the earth. Divine omens do not require a miraculous intervention. They can have natural explanations. What makes them omens of God's indignation is that they occur at precise moments in human history or in the liturgical calendar. In the book of Joel 2 and 31 and the book of Revelation 6 and 12, the ominous sign of the end times is that the moon will turn to blood. The precise meaning of this biblical phrase is uncertain. St. Peter in Acts 2 and 20 on Pentecost Day referred to the prophecy of Joel as being fulfilled by the descent of the Holy Spirit. But the fathers of the church referred the passage in the book of Revelations to the punishment which God will mete out to the church of the Antichrist, and his followers.
Which is those churches that say, oh, you don't have to call in the name of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, or the ones that call on Jesus Christ. The Antichrist is the ones that are anti-Messiah. They don't want these prophecies to come to pass. They don't want the truth of the Bible to come out. You know?
Okay. But they make like they believe that there's some Antichrist character.
Yeah, exactly. They think that there's gonna be a dude that is born, you know, and he turns into the Antichrist. You know, that he is the Antichrist since birth. It doesn't work like that.
Right. A person need not be a Bible thumper to clearly see that many of the strange things taking place recently fit events described in the book of Revelation, the final book in the Bible. Given the fact that COVID-19 is presently a plague attacking the human race, gigantic swarms of locusts are a pestilence. I would actually say that locusts are a plague, not a pestilence, but ravaging huge portions of entire countries from Africa to the Middle East. Earthquakes are taking place in areas where they generally do not.
Oh, wait, let me stop it there, because let me get on this earthquake app.
Okay.
I got this app where it shows, like, real-time earthquakes or whatever. Right? Now I'm just going to see. Let's just go from, what's today, the 12th. So, see how many earthquakes there were today.
Well, see, and no, a lot of times when you mention earthquakes, people are like, well, earthquakes have been going on since the beginning of the time. It's like, yes, true, but they haven't been occurring in every place in the world or certain parts in the world since the beginning of the time. Not to mention the frequency of them occurring. It's like you have to put it all together. People can only focus on one thing in their mind. Oh, well, it says earthquakes. Yeah, we know there's been earthquakes. you know?
There's been 58 earthquakes just today, right? And there's a ton in Puerto Rico. A ton of earthquakes in Puerto Rico, which is not normal.
Right. Which is why the scriptures say earthquakes in diverse places, right? An earthquake hitting California the size of a 5, yeah.
There were there were 18 out of that 38. 18 of them were from Puerto Rico.
Wow.
Which is intense.
More than half.
And Puerto Rico is smaller than.
About half. No, I said it's about half. Yeah, that's crazy in one spot.
Yeah, it's small. Like it's not the size of Texas or or some huge area. Oh yeah, definitely they're gonna have earthquakes. They're in the middle of the sea, like.
Right, and that can cause tsunamis depending on how what the depth of the earthquake is. That can cause a tsunami. So yeah, earthquakes can cause a lot of damage, and not just because of the earthquake. Earthquakes are taking place in areas where they generally do not, and now volcanoes all over the planet are erupting. I think it might be a good guess that something really big is going on. Oh yeah, just the other day, volcano Krakatoa, something like that. It's in the look that up real quick. But anyway, the volcano erupted. It's in Indonesia. And the last time they claimed that erupted was it was in the 1800s sometime, and they said it killed like 36,000 people. So
that's probably the one where there be stories in class where they trying to run on a boat, but then the people get stuck in the ashes and that. Yeah.
Well, hey, Pompeii back in the day had that one erupt that killed all them damn Edomites. Probably a lot of our people too, because But hey, the Most High is bringing judgment right now. So yeah, it was in Indonesia. Get back to the article here.
Get a scripture real quick.
Yeah, I think it might be a good guess that something really big is going on, something biblical. Perhaps the kind of things that make folks maybe want to pay attention and get right with God.
Not all of you can get right.
Okay.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua doesn't need everyone to be on his side at this point right now. He has some that are created for vengeance. Let me read this real quick. This is 2 Ezra 9 at the top. It says, "He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, Even so, the times, like you, which is saying, you know, when it says the end is manifest, you know that it is the end. You know, when you finish the sandwich, there's no more sandwich. You know, it says, even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings, in wonders and powerful works, and endings and effects and signs. And every one that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works, and by faith whereby ye have believed, shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders. Right, which is saying that we're gonna be a part of the nation. We're gonna turn back to our nationality. We don't have to be actually in the land of Israel, you know, to be saved. It says, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. Right? Then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me, and they that have loathed my law while they had yet liberty. Right? And when as yet place of repentance was opened unto them, understood not, but despised it. The same must know it after death by pain. Right? It says, and therefore be thou not curious how the ungodly shall be punished and when, but inquire how the righteous shall be saved, whose the world is, and for whom the world is created. Right? It says, before this, I want to get something.
You wasn't getting Jeremiah 10 and 2, were you?
No, you get that one. I'm trying to get the one where it's talking about the moon. That's what I was looking for before.
Alright, let me get this one real quick. This is Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 1. Hear ye the word which Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. So, you know, we see things like blood moons and whatnot, like, you know, people, mostly Esau, are starting to freak out, especially a blood moon that they didn't even expect to be there, you know. And so them seeing it, they're like, especially over Rome. That's, you know, that's part a blood moon that wasn't expected, and then it's over Rome, which obviously is the birthplace of the Roman Empire, and you know, and is essentially at this point in time, you could say the home base of Esau, you know, to some degree or whatnot. So like, the Most High, you got to be spiritual to see this. Like, you know, you tell this to somebody else, like, oh, you know, there's a blood moon over Rome, like, you know, a Jake Nine Truth, they're gonna be like, oh, okay. You know, they're not gonna see the significance of that, but they'll disregard it. But you know, we can see that the Most High is about to get down, shed a whole lot of blood on the earth.
Hey, and this goes into it.
Yeah. This
is Luke 11 and verse 49. It says, therefore also, this is Yahushua speaking. It says, therefore also, said the wisdom of the Most High, I will send them prophets and apostles, and some of them they shall slay and persecute, that the blood of all the prophets, which was shed from the foundation of the world, may be required of this generation, from the blood of Abel unto the blood of Zacharias, which perished between the altar and the temple. Verily I say unto you, it shall be required of this generation. All right.
Come. So, hey. Hey, people can feel it. People know, and I'm mostly talking about Edomites here. They know judgment is coming. They know they've been wicked. They can clearly see the government ain't really got their back because they under quarantine like everybody else, right? They go to the same food stores we go to. Walk the shelves are empty. These people they ain't got no bunkers. I mean they might prepare a little bit and store a little bit of food, but they realize they're in the same position as Jake for the most part. Some of them are in worse positions. Truth be told.
God.
So. Is there anything else you want to get on that?
I'm gonna get Joel 2:31. I think you just read this one, right?
It mentioned it, but I didn't read it.
Okay. It says Joel 2:31. The sun shall be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood, before the great and the terrible day of the Lord come. Right. Get the one. Right here, this is get this one. This is Luke 21:25. Wait, let me go up. Ooh, this is bad. This is Luke 21:22. It says, actually, I can't go up.
Probably should start at 20, I'm guessing.
God, let me start at 20. Luke 21:20 says, and when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. And that's talking about 68 AD to 73 AD, the siege of Jerusalem, right? It says, and it's funny because now in these times, the Israelites they're gonna try to like with the martial law and these Gurkha troops and such like that, they're gonna end with the mark of